as this voting rights debate continues, right now focused on Georgia, but understand that like Texas is passing bills like that. We're gonna be seeing this in Arizona, a number of other states. How the media covers this, I think, is gonna be very important. What lesson is the American people going to learn from this debate? And I already have reasons to worry. The New York Times had like a sub headline saying that this debate over voting rights was pitting Democrats versus populist Republicans.
Jesus.
What does that have to do with populism, trying to stop people from voting? That is not how any of that's supposed to work. Man, does that word have no meaning anymore. And then we have little thought experiments. So I believe this is Alysin Camerota. Let's take a look at her hypothesizing about potentially one of the silver linings of the Georgia bill.
The fiction, okay, of vast voting fraud is what this is predicated on. But Republicans, I mean, polling suggests, believe that there has been vast voting fraud. As you know, President Trump talked about it ad nauseum. And so is there some potential upside to some of these laws that it will assuage the anxiety of Republicans?
Oh, God.
He said yes, by the way. And then the co-host later on was like, it's a lie though. You don't have to assuage a lie, which, yeah, that should be clear. They believe it. They don't, what does belief mean? We talk about this a lot on this show for some reason. You could believe that voting fraud is happening because you keep seeing it. You see lots of suspicious stuff. You come across issues registering yourself. All of that, you could be gathering evidence, or you could believe it because the same people who passed the bill told you it happened. And that's it. And it doesn't matter how many court cases fail, none of that. No matter how many experts testify, you believe it because the people who are lying to you lied to you. That's it.
This was the whole problem, I think, with Trumpism and the media, because especially when it comes to elections, they love to like sit in a diner and talk to like regular old Joe. And like technically that is, I would argue, I used to think better than just referring to pundits, like talk to actual people, see what they think, and then you uncritically are putting people on the mic who are like, I believe that Q is inhabiting my body, using my NutriBullet, and you're like, wait, okay, maybe we should move to somebody else now and not talk. But like, that's the thing is like, well, that's what's out there, and it's this like vicious cycle of, well, this is what people believe, so we have to cater to them, and the both sidesism that that establishment media is so obsessed with, without informing. They don't do that much lots of reporting, not as much informing.
That's true. Yeah, this is not if people believe it, but like your segment is not intentionally, but it is contributing to confusion. It's kicking up like dirt. And so like we all aren't really sure. No, we're all sure. It was a secure election, fair election. Everybody involved in the election said that. At the time, Republicans were saying that, those who were actually managing the election, including in Georgia. There should be no doubt about that. But there is doubt about that because of all the lying, and there will continue to be doubt about it because people won't call it like it is. This is a knee-jerk reaction to losing an election by the losing side to try to make it less likely that they lose in the future by weeding out as many voters as possible.
What she's asking is, do the jangly keys help distract them? Or do they like the bright colors, or they like the sounds that the jangly keys make? And it's like, I guess, yeah, they'll momentarily distracted.
Yeah.
I wish it were a decoy bill. You know what I mean? If there was like some sort of decoy, there were a decoy state. I mean, it's really Florida. We could just send everyone to.
Unfortunately, no, it's all too real. And law, at least for now, will follow. Like as soon as like there's a court challenge, we're gonna be following it. But as of right now, it's very real. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.